Now let's try it.
I barely in Paris, but I do not.
This is Wednesday. Today is the 13th, is it? Well,
Wednesday's the 14th.
this is Wednesday, May the 14th. And here at the home of Joan and Stan Lee in New York, we are privileged to have as our guest Alain Resnais, world-famous director and cinematographic great, who is just about to make a statement about his study of English as it pertains to Marvel Comics. And now, for all of our fans here and abroad, we present Monsieur Alain Resnais.
Well, as I told you, Stan, before reading Marvel Comics, I was not obliged to use a dictionary. But when I began to read your stuff, it was a real challenge because I was obliged to take with your mags big and bigger dictionaries.
I think
So
that's
you
marvelous.
did a lot of good to my culture in more than one way, I think.
Oh, I
And I
think
am deeply thankful to you. Maybe Webster is too.
And I am thankful to you for such a profound and deeply moving testimonial as you have just given. And since I don't know what to do with the tape recorder, now that it's going, I'll just leave the microphone here and record everything else that may be said for posterity. I'm sure we'll forget it's there after a few minutes. Would you believe that beautiful, simple one that I have always breaks, and this big, cumbersome one is the one I always end up using. And the other one...
I am not surprised.
Really? The other, though, is all automatic. You don't have to adjust the sound level. It does it automatically. This one I have to keep watching and
Parlez
making sure that's
lentement,
flat.
s'il vous plaît, not so fast.
Anyway, we'll try to forget that it's running.
Although as it keeps winking at you that way, it may be difficult.
Did you really come here just to learn to speak English? No.
No. One of my friends is an American. He's called Richard Seaver, and we plan to make a film together. And him as a scriptwriter, and it was very difficult by mail because laziness was always the winner. And I came here to be sure that he could see me every day, and so that he felt obliged to work every day.
To work every day.
To work every day. So that's the first reason. But, well, 50-50.
Because when
Let's
you
say.
said before that you could have learned to speak English at the Berlitz School in France.
Yes, but if I did not succeed, I would not have been sure that it would not have been because I was in France. Because friends of mine, like François Truffaut, tried to learn English in Paris, and he did not succeed. So I couldn't. Well, I think the tension of the mic.
How long are you staying
But
here?
I am going to forget
Yes,
it.
because
sure.
how long are you staying here?
It depends on how much money I can borrow of my American friends. So each week I am, maybe it's the last week, but each time I have found I try to live without spending too much.
Yes.
So as long as I can, and as long as the script is not ready.
I see.
He's writing the script now?
Yes, just now.
Yeah. What type of movie is it?
Well, it's something about the Marquis de Sade. No, it's very modish. But I think, yes, but I have seen just one of them, but I was obliged to leave at the intermission.
Right.
It was so bad, so vulgar and so not funny at all. And,
Do you like liver?
yes, of course.
Right.
Thank you. Have you seen one of them? No.
Was this the play on Broadway?
Probably, is it the one they reviewed today?
Yes, this had illustrated. Yeah.
Got a pretty sad review, pretty bad review. And there's another one coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes? Well, what was the one, the Broadway show last year, Marat?
Ah, Marasan, yes. That's
Yes.
a good play.
That was a very fine
Yeah.
one.
Yes,
Yes.
and, finely directed by Peter Brook. And, yes.
Will this be a sexy movie?
In a way, but it's always difficult to speak about a film before it's made. But if it succeeds, it will be on the mysterious side of sex.
The mysterious side.
Yes, yeah. That's how we feel always.
Probably it'll be more arty than sexy.
Magic. Well, mysterious and magic.
Sounds good.
Sex. Yes, like that.
Who is the writer? Do I know him?
Richard Seaver.
Seaver?
Seaver is I think he is the man who knows Sade the best, maybe of the world. He translated Sade in American.
Is that so?
Yes.
You introduced Dan Dine. This is
Oh,
my daughter.
my daughter Joan.
Yes.
How do you do?
Alain Resnais there?
My daughter is studying to be an actress. I finished studying at the American
She just
Academy
finished, so
of
that
Drama.
means she's an
Yes,
accomplished
who-
actress.
Who directs Academy of Drama?
Francis Fuller
And
Yes.
Worthington Minor.
Yes. I don't know them, but
What is the dramatic school in France? What would be on
we haven't any, to say the truth, no.
really?
No,
The
it's
London, nothing like the London College of Drama.
not, there is a conservatoire, but just now they, in a way, they are in problems now. So it's a progress because they were becoming completely academic and stale, if I can say so, and
This
things like
is
that.
how my daughter feels about the American Academy.
Yes,
That
too.
it's still doing what it did 50
Mhm.
years ago.
Yes.
Isn't it?
In a way, during 1 year, I think it's always good to learn academic things because if you have enough personality, it does not do any harm. What is dangerous is if you stay. If you remain 5 years on things like that.
You learn 1 year and then you can move
In
on.
other words, it doesn't hurt to learn the
Do you know
basics.
how long
As
it
long
has
as you
to
have
learn
your
learn
own.
to speak English?
After all the great painters had
Every
not, were not in
With English teaching, you
academy
just have to speak one word.
directed by
French.
great painters.
So how frustrating it
Yes.
gets.
Cézanne or Van Gogh or
Fantastic.
Picasso, or they were not taught by
They're not teaching.
Delacroix or Courbet or men like that, and they became great
Do you know
painters.
why?
Actually, I think the academy that Joni went to is sort of an establishment type of school, which would give her the basics, and then it would be up to her to get out and see what's happening today.
Mhm.
I saw at the Metropolitan Museum of Art. They
Ah,
had.
Mhm.
I saw it.
You saw all the.
I saw the
Your
Renee.
movie.
Mhm. Yes, but you saw the 2 weeks.
No, I just saw
no,
one day of it.
I
one
mean, they
day.
had it for 2 weeks.
I think so. Yeah.
Son of a gun. I wish I had known then that I was going to meet you. I would have gone there.
Yeah. Next time, you will have a
You
chance.
let me know, Johnny. And let me know if ever they have a Marvel Comics Day. He was just mentioning that he had to get a dictionary and really work on his French when he read Marvel Comics, on his English. Would you like a cigar, Al?
No, thank you. But I presume or I assume that many foreign directors are reading Marvel comics.
Well, some
Yes,
of them.
Fellini.
Fellini, yes.
Yes.
Chicken. Now this is
Thank you.
chicken, I'm telling you,
Yes.
these awful hors
How
d'oeuvres
come you
that we
didn't tell me?
study.
You just gave me one. I didn't even know what it
Well.
was. You know, it must feel great, though, to have
Don't you want one, darling?
a Resnais 2 weeks at the Museum of Modern Art. I think that's
You must have been
wonderful.
very proud.
Yes, but
Did it
I
give you
think
any money?
I don't,
Did
to
it-
be, yes, to be sincere, I don't realize it very clearly. I don't know why, but
Tremendous honor.
Mhm.
Were you there?
no, I arrived just the day after.
Did you know anything about it?
I knew, but as I did not think that I could come to New York, I had not any arrangement with it.
Because the young, like my daughter, I do not go to movies.
Mhm.
Very, very rarely. Very rarely.
If everyone was like you, he'd starve.
Yes, they know your work so well. I mean, they just say, "Oh, what a fantastic director." So you must touch the young. You must
Yes,
it must be
mhm.
you must reach the young as he does in his.
But what I am not sure is, will I touch the new young now with the generation gap?
Well, here is a new young who just turned 19 the other day. No, you're not new young.
You're the old young
Are you
man.
the old young, dear?
No,
Yeah.
I'm not the new young. The new young's 14, 15.
Really?
How old do you mean for the new young?
15 and 16, yes, you may be right.
Really?
Yeah.
You mean that they now matter, the 15 and 16-year-olds?
I don't know, but many things now are changing, yes. The same thing in French universities and French college,
Oh, I know.
college, than in New York, I think. Of course, I can't understand just reading a newspaper what's exactly arriving now in university, but I think it's the same thing in all over the world.
Do you
Oh, it is.
lecture?
There's a
but-
revolution.
Do you lecture in France?
No, just sometimes after a screening, I discuss with the audience, but just answering questions, something like that.
Well, you know,
I am not a theoretician, and I would be unable to explain the whys, and I have no theory about cinema.
you know, over here in America, lecturing at colleges is a very big thing.
Yes, I know. I have proposals to tour, yes, universities, 16 or 17 in 1 month, just like a singer. But as I did not speak enough English,
When you're more confident of your English, you should do it. It would be a good way to make enough money for your stay anytime you want to
Yes.
stay, because they pay a few
Yes,
$100s
yes,
a
yes,
lecture. And you don't have to make a speech. I've learned the trick. I do quite a bit of it.
yes,
You talk for just a couple of minutes. You introduce yourself and tell a joke or say something to get
Yes.
them laughing.
that's, that's the point.
Right. Nobody likes to listen to speeches. Nobody in the world likes a speech. There's nothing duller. So what you do after you've spoken for a minute, you say, now, I hate to make speeches and I know you hate to listen to them, so let's have a questions and answer period. And they will ask you a million questions. And it's fun. You know, you don't
Yes.
know what to expect next. You can't say anything wrong. Any answer you give is interesting, you know. And the hour, the 2 hours just goes like that.
And the work is done by them. Yes.
And I've done that, I don't know, a few dozen times. And each time it's better, you know. You get more familiar with how to answer the questions. I enjoy it very much. I wish I could do it more. I don't have enough time. But you'd be great at it, because kids are very interested in films. And I think anytime you want it, you
Yes,
can.
and it could give me a new kind of stamina.
And a new perspective
Yes,
on what the
because,
young people
yeah.
want.
I didn't want to go.
I've learned a lot
I just got
by
to
it,
just
you know.
time I could take.
Do they do much of that in France?
Black shoes.
At the colleges?
Like
Not
this
at
time,
colleges,
no other
but
time.
in
I feel I need one. I know
cine
what I could do.
club,
I could
I
eat
don't
that whole thing. And
I don't know the word.
investment I
the
have in
exact
my
word
wardrobe, I
in
can't
English.
do it. I can see a little bit the
Fraternities?
moment I start to eat.
I don't think
At the moment I
it
start
does
to
exist
wonder.
in America, Cine Club. It's
a club
a group in provinces or even in Paris, and they have about 1 or 2 nights each month.
You mean a club of fans, of
Yes.
movie fans
Yes,
who get
movie
together
fans,
with
yes.
an interest
Yes.
in films?
Mm.
Oh, they must, I don't know of any, but they must have them here
Yes.
too. I do, yes. Although maybe they don't, because I've never heard of
Have
any.
what?
Yes, I think it's
Jenny said
a
have what?
European custom.
Johnny asked what?
Are there any clubs in this country, honey, of fans, movie fans who get, Alain said that over in France they have these cine clubs, which are groups of fans who meet once a month or so and they discuss movies and they'll have a lecture. Do you know of anything like that here?
Well, there's so many clubs, I'm sure there's one like that. I mean, there's so many, all schools, all colleges.
Yes, in
have-
schools, yes.
have
Well, we
clubs,
have
I'm sure
we
there's
have them now, yes, also, but. And,
At any rate, I think that anybody who has achieved any type of fame, as you certainly have, can do so well here in this country, just once a week or twice a month or something, lecturing at a different college.
Here we go,
Yes.
Alain. Chopped
Thank you.
egg.
Chopped egg.
Chopped egg. So you've had chopped liver, chopped egg,
Chopped chicken.
chopped chicken. This you know, your own French cheese, Gomadou cheese. Would you like some of this cheese? Darling, did you taste this?
Honey, I don't want any
Cheese.
more for a while, thanks, dear.
Because we're both getting
I'm on a
fat.
big diet. Have you been interviewed on any radio shows since you've been
No.
here?
Oh,
Not
wouldn't
yet.
Barry Farber love you to take him down?
Because I would think you'd make a good guest. Would you like to be on one?
I don't think so.
I think that's marvelous.
Yes, yes.
Oh, I don't think so. I think that's wonderful.
No, I am on the shy side.
Really?
Yes, and I don't like to be interviewed on TV, anyway, in French TV. I dislike it very much. I accept radio, something like that, but because in Paris, when you are asked to appear on French TV, it's just at an exact time, and you are obliged to go to the studio and things like that. And I am very independent, and I don't like to have that kind of appointment. So, as there is no money with it anyway.
Oh.
Yes, yes, that's important. So I decided 10 years ago to say that I always refused to appear on TV, and that it was a rule, and that it could not be broken. So if I broke it now, I have the feeling that I will become kind of, I will feel less free. So I don't think it's interesting.
Does freedom matter to you? Are you very much a free individual?
Very individualistic, thing like
Yes,
that.
you are. Very free.
I like to have the impression, anyway, to do what I like. So.
When you want to.
Yes.
You're just the opposite of me. I'm not at all free because I live with these deadlines every day.
Yes.
But more than that, I would, if I had time, I would be interviewed, and if they wanted me, on every TV show, on every radio show, I'd stand on soapboxes in the corner. I would much rather be an actor than a writer, you know. In fact, you used to act, didn't you? Didn't they?
Yes, but we know since Dr. Freud that kind of thing is very mixed. And you are extroverted, I am introverted, but maybe
But he
we
is
wish the
very
same thing.
introverted in other areas where you may be very extroverted.
Maybe.
I'm a very shy extrovert.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe.
He is basically a shy person who has made himself
Mhm.
into an extrovert.
I just like to talk. I think that's
Yes.
what it is.
But I don't like to have an appointment to speak before an audience. I dislike it very much. But when it has begun, maybe I am like you. After 2 hours on stage, I feel happy.
They probably can't get you off the stage.
Yes, they can. Well, sometimes they are very aggressive, you know.
You know, it's like tape recorders. Most people, I haven't done this lately, but years ago when I was younger and I first got interested in tape recorders, if ever anybody would come to the house, I'd say, wait a minute, I want to take out the tape recorder. Let's all hear how we sound. And everybody at the house would say, oh, not me. I don't want to talk into that. No, I can never think of anything to say. No, not me. But the minute they get the microphone, you can't pull it away from them.
Yes. I guess we are all the same.
How much acting did you do?
Oh, it was 20 years ago anyway. I just had 3 or 4 years of that kind of thing.
Did you like it?
Yes, very much. Yes. And I did not have the intention to become a movie director, but when I decided that I was not as good an actor as I wished to be, I told myself that if I became an editor of film editor, I will be in the same environment. I love theater people.
How can he be able to say such a marvelous word, environment? Environment, he
Maybe-
said, maybe
maybe
from
because of
environment.
Stanley.
After 4 weeks of late, I mean, that is a large word to use in one's vocabulary.
Yes, but
I would imagine that very few people would use that in 7 days of conversation.
yes, I don't
would you
think
hear the
that
word
I took
environment?
it from Berlitz.
Environment, that's my, I'm sorry.
Maybe it's a Marvel word.
Maybe
No,
it's
you
environment.
do. You really speak very well.
You use
You
what
speak
I
better
mean
than
is-
most Americans.
That's what I mean. You use very large explanatory words that are very beautiful. Your speech is not, hello, how are you? I am well, it is a nice day.
Yes.
You used a whole sentence there of, I like the environment, I happen to love theatre people,
yes.
I realized I was not, I mean, this is a whole story. I completely forgot there was an accent there.
But you said it beautifully.
Was I speaking English?
Maybe
You two foreigners flattering each other.
yes. So now I am
Which was marvelous.
just hear you. And
So you became...
so yeah, I became a film editor. And I was a little sad, of course, because when you edit film, it's not living really with actors. But there was a kind of hazard, and I became a film director 8 years later, and so I was again with actor, and I enjoyed as well to direct than to play, I think.
May I ask how long you've been in the business? May I ask how old you are?
I am 48.
48.
Yes.
You're a year older than I am.
Mhm.
I am 47. You're 48.
I don't believe.
To me, you're a child.
She's my baby. Now,
Yeah.
you have been in the business. It's interesting for my daughter, yes, 19, for my daughter to listen to it. You therefore have been in the business how long?
For 20 years, I think.
20 years.
20 years.
And from that you've gone from actor
Yes.
to film editor,
Yes.
to director,
Short. I made shorts
shorts.
for 10 years.
Right. And
Yes.
now you're going to go back with the script with Dirk Bogart
Yes.
to make an English-speaking movie.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Yes.
Yes.
Just.
Right, we-
Peut-être.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yes.
In
Did I say it
France.
right?
Yes. Right.
Peut-être.
In France or in England?
Perhaps.
In England, I think.
You have
Yes.
been to my country many times, I gather, right?
I have been in London and in Scotland, but
Well, I am way up. Newcastle on Tyne.
oh yes, that's a beautiful country.
Yes, the north is a lovely part. The
Yeah.
north of England, I think, is one of the nicest parts.
Yes, I discovered Scotland 2 years ago, and I was completely
That's beautiful.
absorbed. I mean, I
That little
did not think
country,
that such
everything
a
road,
thing, such
of
a
course,
life
scenes.
could exist.
I know.
Yes.
Beautiful. Well, you know where
Sunset,
England is like this in the
yes.
neck, and she comes in and she
Yes.
goes out like right up there. We're right on the border of the North Sea, and then we cross right over 1 hour away in Scotland. We're actually Gaelic people.
Yes.
You know, in fact, part of our family probably came from France. My maiden name was Bucock, but B-O-O-C-O-C-K, not B-E-A-U, not Bo, but probably came from there. But most Americans adore Scotland also. It's interesting. Edinburgh and all around there. It's a lovely little area of England. I love it. My father used to take us touring up in Scotland. I am still a British subject. I never took
Yes.
out papers.
You have a British passport.
Because someday I shall go back there to live.
See, she feels if she ever wants to leave me, she can go back to England and I can't follow.
But now I have confessed myself. Maybe I can ask you the same question. How did you get into your business?
My life is an open book.
Yes, I
How did you
read
do that?
the secret behind the comics. But
Did you read that?
Yes, of course. But it was
Where did you
very
read-
short.
Where did you read that?
Well, a friend had it, so I borrowed it.
Do you
Yes.
remember that
But
thing?
you know, Europeans are very curious, yes, about that.
And
Funny.
of course, he said before that this movie would be mystery. I think you like
Magic,
romance,
yes.
magic out in
Yes, that's why I like Fantastic Four and things like
Yes.
that, because
Here at
it
Secret
has a
Romance
kind
Comics,
of dreamlike
book
quality,
years
of course, and it's so free and everything can happen, yes.
Well,
With the help of Kirby, of course, yes.
oh, absolutely.
Yes, his machines are something.
His art is beautiful.
All right, then go and walk her down. Put
I
her on a
am
leash and walk her and don't
at
bring
your
her back.
Excuse me for
disposal.
one
Listen.
moment.
Until
You're gonna
she's
walk the
done
dog?
this.
I'm taking my child.
We have a new Dobie pup
She's mine. She loves me.
that my husband bought to guard me at our house when we're out on the island.
We have a house in Long Island. Actually, it's very funny. We have a big house in Long Island. And when my daughter moved here, she has a little apartment, the one I showed you. We kind of missed her and we wanted to be near her, so we took this apartment just for a few days a week to be near my office and to be near my daughter. We spend most of our time here in these 2 rooms, and the house out there, which has I think 10 or 11 rooms, that's like a warehouse. We just keep our furniture there and we go there every so often. It's ridiculous. Anyway, we bought this dog for a watchdog when it gets a little bit bigger. you
This is
see,
the
for house.
big Doberman Pincer, and this is yours, a
That's
French
Samantha.
poodle, utterly gregarious.
And that's Charlie
Come
Brown.
on. All right, baby, take her out. Take her. And keep her, walk her right to the empty lot. She likes it. Come on, Charlie
But
Brown.
come back again. Every time we let her out with the dog, she doesn't come back.
Charlie. One time I'm not going to come back at all with her.
You know.
Yes, you said that your life was an open book, but how did it begin?
When I was in high school, it's just before college, I wanted to be an actor.
Mm-hmm.
And I joined the Federal Theater. They had something called the WPA Federal Theater. Orson Welles was a member, and some other people. I loved acting.
Yeah.
But at that time, there wasn't any money in it. And a newspaper here in New York called the Herald Tribune had an essay contest for high school students called the Biggest News of the Week contest. Every week you'd write an essay about what you thought was the biggest news event of the week.
I am not so sure you are right because I have not. I do not know if the name exists in English. Hierarchy. No. I mean levels of valeur. I don't know. I don't know exactly if there are in the field of art, if things which seems to be without value are really without value. I am not sure you are a good judge of your career. So
I see
far.
what you mean.
Yes, as I told you, I don't think that I hate people who are just comics lovers, because it's unbearable to that kind of man who just read comics and nothing else. And I think you think the same thing.
Well, I can't understand people who read comics. I wouldn't read them if I had the time and wasn't in the business. I might look through them and read something good in comics, but I've got so many other interests. You know?
Yes, you don't have enough time to just doing that. But what I am curious about is I don't understand exactly what are your. If you are speaking about editors, contracts and things like that. You mean you sign for 5 years, for 10 years?
I mentioned that when you were at the office.
Yes, and I don't
tell you what happened.
You are not the owner of your factory, if I may say so.
I'm an employee.
Yes.
See,
And as I am when I sign with a producer, but as I sign just for one film, it's
No, with me it's different.
Yes.
I was just an employee of the publisher, Martin Goodman, and I worked as editor. Now, everything I wrote, I got paid extra for. So I had two incomes. I got my salary, and I got my script writing. So I made a lot of money, always made a lot of money. But it didn't mean anything, because as long as you make money that way, the taxes are very high. In this country, and maybe all over, the only way you can save money is if you own your own business and you have capital gains taxes. You don't pay as much taxes. With me, everything I make, about 60% goes to the government. So I had a lot of pride in knowing that my salary and my writing fees were very high, and I earn probably as much money as anybody around. But I can't keep any, you see, so...
Yes. But I think it's the same thing in France.
Probably.
But as we feel anyway like that, we are all underpaid.
Yeah. No, I'm not underpaid. I'm paid a lot,
yes.
but I can't keep it, you see. Now, I don't have any ownership. See, everything I've written, nothing belongs to me. If somebody wants to reprint one of the stories, they pay the company. They don't pay me. Now, it went on this way for about 29 years. Last year, my publisher sold the whole company to one of these big, they call them conglomerates. One of these big companies that just buys other companies. So I had to sign a contract for 5 years saying that I would work there for 5 years. Excuse me.
Yes? Did she? Huh? Come on, Doobie. She grows this big.
Yes.
Very good.
Oh. She did?
Contract can be broken,
Yes.
and I could break
Yes.
it at any time.
Yes.
But there's a clause in the contract that if I break it and I leave, I mustn't do any comic strip work for 1 year. I mustn't do any magazine work. I don't care about it. All the time that I worked there, I never thought of leaving because I was loyal to this publisher. But now that it's owned by another company, now I figure for the first time at my age, and I'm about your age, I feel it's time I started thinking of other things,
Yeah.
you know? And so the contract really doesn't mean much. And I've been thinking,
Oh, no, go ahead.
I've been thinking myself of trying to write a play, trying to, I know some producers in this country trying to do a movie scenario. I was even thinking of writing some poems, like Rod McEwen and people like that, with some philosophy and some satire in them, the type of thing I put in the comics, like the Silver Surfer, you know, or Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And I think my name may be well known enough that maybe these poems would sell, you see. So the only problem is, as long as I'm here, I don't have the time to write them. And if I leave, I don't get the income which I need to keep living. So I've got to figure out how to do this. That's the whole story.
And in a way, you must feel, well, obliged, that's the exact word, but you must have friends. I mean, thank you.
And
And olive.
olive.
Olive,
Very
yes.
salty.
With Buscema or with, is that the way to pronounce the name? Buscema?
Oh, John Buscema. Buscema.
Buscema. Oui. Buscema.
Buscema. That's the way he pronounces it.
Buscema or Kirby or
Yeah.
Colin.
It sounds much better the way you say it.
If you leave them, they will be sad, to say the least.
Well,
No, it's
I've
possible.
thought of that. I've thought of that. Yeah.
It must be like in a film, you are obliged to continue.
The thing is, these men are so talented that I think if I do movie work, I could take them with me.
Yeah.
Jack is great at set design and things like that, and they're good at storyboards.
Yeah.
And I have a feeling that, in fact, they could even stay where they are and do well, but I would like to take them.
Yeah.
It's a funny thing, Jack is living in California now, Jack Kirby.
Yes.
What? Yeah. And he just did a set design for a college out there. They're doing a production of Julius Caesar, and I helped them with it. And just today they sent me. Very carefully, you're full of quack. Which I thought was awfully cute.
Yeah.
See? Jack did the set design, and I did some editing on their Julius Caesar play. They're going to put it over television in California. And I was very pleased. I imagine they must have sent one to Jack also.
That's great.
Isn't that nice?
Yes.
I have to find a place to hang it.
That's it.
Now, let's try this cheese and see what this is. You see?
That's UCLA at Santa Cruz.
Do you like do you like French food?
Yes.
Yes.
But,
do you?
I like Chinese food too, Japanese food,
Ooh.
even
Maybe you
even
like
American.